Hey everyone, we have myself, Adam, and then also Kurt, aka the KURTLOCKER. I'm going to hit him to start this podcast with a 1 minute, what do we call this? 1 minute answer as many questions as you can segment. And it's basically, I'm going to ask him, it's all home gym related questions. So Adam, you start the timer.
I'm going to go after you finish that first question.
All right, let's go. All right, Kurt. You can only have one for your home gym. Sand dune stepper or leg rollers?
Leg rollers.
Henny attachment or jammer arms? You're buying
Henny
it.
attachment.
One cardio machine for your home gym. What are you going with?
Stepper.
Rogue or rep?
Rogue.
Rep or Titan?
Rep.
Isolator or the goat attachment from Stray Dog?
Isolator.
Squat max or all specialty squat bars?
Specialty squat bars.
One specialty squat bar for the rest of your life. What are you going with?
Transformer.
Favorite workout shoes?
Barefoot.
One barbell for the rest of life. What are you going with?
Kabuki Next Gen Power Bar.
YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
All right. There it is.
That was a good job. All right, well, welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. You know who's here, Adam, Jake, and Kurt. And here's what we got for you tonight. We have a HomeGymCon update, and that's going to be Kurt telling us about the Strongman Throwdown. New products coming to you from Titan, Kleva, and Rep. We have those survey results. And then we posted a question. We're going to give our answers. What bench would you start your home gym with today? So with that, we're going to let Kurt get into it.
All right, super excited for this. We have the HomeGymCon update, which is the throwdown at HomeGymCon, cleverly named. So it's a 5-event strongman competition. It's United States Strongman Federated. It is a qualifier, as all USS sanctioned meets are for USS Nationals. That is in July. So if you're looking for a qualifying event about 3 months before the actual Nationals, it's a really good one to go with. And our 5 events are going to be a press medley, a max tire deadlift, a truck pull, a yoke and frame carry, and a head-to-head sandbag over bar. And what's really cool and unique about this is, one, it's taking place at the absolutely pinnacle home gym convention in the world. Not only is it there, but your ticket that you pay for gets you admission to both days, the 26th and the 27th. And also your ticket as an athlete gets you entered into drawings. And this is what makes it really cool. So normally in strongman competitions, you might have podium prizes, which this one also has, graciously brought by Phorm. So Phorm did donate a $400 prize pack to each one of my podium winners in the open classes. But just to top that off, so far I've gotten 2 sponsors. Freedom Strength Sandbags has donated about 10-ish bags. I'm still working on the solid number for that. And all of those bags that we use at the event afterwards will be given to athletes, and that's going to be based on a raffle.
And they're custom.
Absolutely, they are custom too. So these aren't just their normal sandbags. What they're doing over at Freedom Strength is they're going to be customizing them with the Throwdown at HomeGymCon logo. So I'm really excited to see that. As soon as I have those teasers, I'll be pushing those out to all of the athletes that have registered over on Iron Podium. Additionally, what I just secured today was AMRAP, who I think we've always talked about companies that have a lot to do in the home gym community. And I can't think of a better company than AMRAP really stepping in. And the crash cushions for the log as a part of the press medley are going to be given to the prize pool, as well as the crash mats for the circus dumbbell and the axle overhead press. So thank you, AMRAP. For donating those prizes. As it stands right now, there's a really good chance that if you enter into this competition just with those 2 sponsors, and keep in mind I have other irons in the fire right now that I'm working on, you're basically paying a $90 entrance fee into getting a pretty good chance of taking home like a $100 to $400 product. And just something to keep in mind as well is the podium prizes are not your raffle prize. Your podium prizes are earned because that's going to be earned by you, the athlete, for getting first place in your open class division. On top of that, though, I think right now we're still talking about cash prizes, which is going to be based off of ticket sales for the convention itself. So second and third will also be taking home some cash prizes. I can't speak to the specifics on that yet. As we get closer to the event, we're going to have a better idea of what those are going to be. So what I wanted this to be was a competition that is really for athletes. And I know that we've seen other strongman competitions that, come out and being really for the athletes, but I'm really trying to make this a very premium athlete focused event. I'm not taking anything from this. I'm really just looking for the experience, and I'm looking to give back to this awesome community with an awesome competition that comes with some amazing sponsors, some amazing opportunities to touch some of the most premium strongman equipment that's out there right now. And of course, a really good time.
Hell yeah. Got me excited.
I'll just pile on with, there will absolutely be more prizes as well, especially as we get towards the beginning of next year. We'll really start to push trying to get as many prizes as possible. And, Kurt didn't get into specifics, but if we get 30 competitors, we will be donating 5% of the ticket sales for prizes. I mean, that should be thousands of dollars. And then, what else was I going to say? So, and it should just be fun. It sounds like there's a good group that have already signed up, and a
good group that's already signed up.
Good sponsors as well. Yeah.
Not only that, but I also have people like Heinous Strength is kind of my co-meet director for this. We've been working together. We went through Iron Podium. We went through the last 12 months of competitions, and I nerded out and basically pulled all the weights for all these events that we are doing specifically at our event. And Andrew Heinous and I, we went back and forth trying to figure out what is the best, most approachable weight, really trying to make it so that open class is difficult, but also like we want something that's challenging, but also something that's still strongman. Like I don't want to make a 5-event CrossFit competition. I'm looking to make something that really epitomizes strongman. On top of that, I do have some loose commitments from people like Mike Bartos over at Mike Bartos Power Center, who wants to come out and basically just help. You never know. You might have Mike Bartos, who's one of the most awesome people, as well as he's just really motivating, a really good conversationalist, a good human being. Plus, when he is yelling at you lifting, I'm sure it's really motivating as well. And I guarantee you he's going to be right there in your face. It's going to be great.
Cool. Well, we'll have to do another check-in in a few months just to see where everything's at. But 5.5 months to go. Awesome start so far. And it'll also just be cool. Just like it's right in the exhibition hall. So it's right there where everyone will be, and everyone will, the community members will be able to see you do it. You'll be right there. So
if the energy level is anywhere where it was last year during the inaugural HomeGymCon for either the deadlift party or the log lift, it's going to be amazing because I guarantee you it's going to be bigger, and the energy just at those two events was insane. So I'm incredibly excited for this opportunity, and I'm really excited for all these athletes to also get this amazing opportunity to compete at the premium home gym convention in the world, in the universe, everywhere, period.
That's right. And then if you do sign up for the strongman competition, you'll have all day Friday to go to all the vendors, and you can hang out with everybody at night. So yeah, it should be a good, like if you want to be active, it'd be a good mix of everything just to do a competition as well.
It'll also make it easy. So for the athletes that want to come weigh in on Friday, because I'll be at Home Gym Convention, probably helping you guys out with other stuff or just hanging out, enjoying the area myself. That's going to mean that your weigh-in time could be anytime on Friday, because I'm just going to be down in the convention hall. Normally, weigh-in times are really narrow because usually the meet director has to go somewhere to do official weigh-ins. It's really not going to be that big of a problem. I'm just going to be there all day.
Cool. All right, let's move on. New products. All right, new product number 1. So Titan released the Titan Series adjustable bench. So this one comes in at $450, and it appears to be their most robust bench, I would say. So it features 9 back positions, 0 through 85, 3 seat positions, 0 through 30. It has that 11 rating in the flat position, 600 pounds rating in the incline. I will say it looks a lot like the Rogue adjustable bench 2.0 or 3.0, with more of like a price of the Rep AB 5200, but even cheaper. But it also has some wheels to move and knurled handle to wheel it around. It can be stored upright like most of the premium benches these days. The 40-inch pad should be large enough for most people to basically use as a flat bench without the gap disrupting you, which is something that I really liked about the AB 5200. And then there's already been a few YouTube reviews out there, I think, or at least some good feedback about this bench. So Pierce Titan went back to the drawing board and came out with a pretty good bench.
I think they're known for like struggling in this aspect, and I really like the contrast in colors, like keeping that like steel look on the black instead of like blacking out. I think that's like a small thing. It looks nice, but
it does look it looks clean.
Yeah, props to Titan.
All right, we have some Kleva releases as well. We have a plate storage post. These are handcrafted and 100% stainless steel. They are pretty. If you're looking at the visual, it's got the KB on the end there. It looks really nice. Some plate storage posts for your rack. Landmine clubs. So it's got the kind of like the Android like receiving end with the their typical like aluminum knurled handle for single arm use with the landmine. Looks really nice, lightweight attachment to complement the Android 2.0, which I just got. So props to my wife for the cool birthday present. I love it. Used it last night. And then finally the ISO grips. So more attachments, cable attachments from Kleva. We saw these at HomeGymCon. Steve brought these out. They were great. Single knurled grip. It's the aluminum as well. Makes it nice and lightweight. And then it's got like a knob at the bottom just for an easier grip for cable work.
I'm just going to save you real quick, Adam.
I know what you're going to say.
What I do?
Correct it.
I
almost corrected you last week. Yeah.
I catch so much. I still, to this day, catch crap for this. If you look at my review of the Adroit landmine, or Adroit,
How did I
I'm
say
not sure.
it?
There's no N.
Oh, I said Android.
Yeah, so I actually got a DM after I released that video, and someone's like, "You are still the first person I've ever heard say Android, and I will never let you forget it."
Why is? Oh, okay, probably from the phone. Androids, but okay. Say it again. Adroit.
Well, so I don't know where the emphasis goes, which syllable the emphasis goes on. I'm not sure. So it's Adroit or Adroit.
Well, my brain still sees Android when I see it. All right.
No, I was the same way. I pronounced it Android for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my wall control, and I'm just like, man, I wish that was full of Kleva stuff.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, dude, those are sweet.
All right. And then made in USA belts and utility loop from Rep. So Rep now offers these made in America made in USA belts. These include premium USA leather, stainless steel buckle, roughed interior, numerous debossed logos. I could keep reading, but they're very nice USA made belts from with partnership with Belt Fed Strength.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are you?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's making them for them. I don't know exactly. He must
Was this
just be pumping them out and sending them.
HomeGymCon marriage, maybe?
So he
No,
actually
They
he's-
were right
he,
across.
he drove that first batch. Like he put them in his car and drove them to rep in Pennsylvania. Because he
Rep
was
is
just
Pennsylvania.
Now talking to Chris about this, I am so excited for Chris over at BeltFed. This is an amazing opportunity. And then for anybody that's looking to get a premium belt, a Made in USA premium belt made by a small family-owned business, amazing opportunity.
Also,
Yeah.
like the nicest people ever.
Absolutely.
And,
Hey,
and
okay.
I,
It's just my ignorance, real quick. The utility loop. What's it do?
Dips.
it's for like weighted dips. You can slide
Oh,
it
okay.
onto the slide it onto the belt and add weight on the chain, right?
Got it.
And then I messaged Chris before this to see like how did this come about, and I guess it just happened after a Gluck video where he did the belt fed review, a bunch of stuff, and I don't know who from Rep reached out, but maybe Ryan, and just said cool stuff, and I guess it just happened from there.
That's awesome.
And yeah, Chris
Good
also
for Rep, like a big company like that, to do it the
Yeah.
right way, I feel like. That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, he just emphasized how extremely happy he was to do this as well. So yeah, maybe life-changing type of deal. I don't know. Pretty cool. All right, those are the products for the last week. Let's move on to those survey results. And I will say I didn't have any product ideas, so maybe next week.
No, you should have kept them hanging. There might be a product idea. So you just got to wait and see.
Keep watching.
I'm going to grab this first survey. It was on the color of your bench. 40% say that the color of their bench matters, which says 60% does not matter. 49% are willing to pay a little more for the right color of their bench. I think it matters.
It matters.
It matters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if it didn't go with the rest of your stuff, it'd stick out like a sore thumb. I don't know.
Yeah, and that question came because Titan offers only one bench color. So,
If you offer one, make it black. So,
yeah. All right, we also asked, so would you rather have a functional trainer attached to your rack or stand alone, and also the lat/low row? So, more for both of these, more people voted attached to a rack. So 42% voted they'd rather have a functional trainer attached to the rack versus 40% standalone, and 17% were not interested in a functional trainer in general. And then the lat/low row received even more votes for attached to the rack. So 53% said they would like their lat/low row attached to the rack versus 38% standalone, and just 9% not interested in this one at all. Personally, for me, I'd rather have both of them attached to the rack to save space for everything else. So,
yeah, I'm opposite. I really like a basic empty rack, and I like standalone units, but I can see that I'm not in the majority on that one.
yeah. What about
You got a
Kurt?
pretty big space though, right? Like that basement area?
Let me count
I'm
stall
still-
mats here. 2, 4, 6, 8. It can go 12 to 14 stall mats.
Yeah, so like I'm on a 12 by 20 foot area. So having it rack attached for me is kind of important. Rack or wall attached. So
Yeah.
yeah. There's some companies that make some really innovative stuff with this too. So we've seen Rep obviously do their stuff with the Aries and with the Athena. And then a company that really interestingly doesn't get much credit for this is actually Stray Dog Strength. They've been selling, they're called ATR units. They're all rack attached, and you can get them configured to be functional trainers. I'm getting a single column that's either rack or wall attached. So yeah, it seems like there's a heavy market for it. And there's definitely some options that are out there. The surplus strength UPS is an awesome lat low row, but that functional trainer is a little bit tricky.
Side note, I pushed the UPS on my doctor. We got to talking about home gyms during one of my checkups. And he says he has a home gym and he has a Rogue Slinger. And he just doesn't like how it goes down like that middle column. I was like, oh, man, you should get a UPS. He gets out his little, a UPS. Huh? It was a fun conversation.
You told him about Better Than Black Friday coming up?
This is back in the spring, so Black Friday wasn't on my mind yet. Yeah.
Did you tell him about code GGE?
I should have.
Speaking of random, I was walking my dog and I saw somebody with rep rack in their driveway. Someone was like
in their driveway, like it just got
like
delivered?
It was just delivered. Yeah, they were like starting to unpack.
Is it in your neighborhood?
The one next to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost said something like
you should have.
You should have thrown a GGE sticker on it or a banner on it or something.
Yeah. I thought about like giving them a banner, like
the worldwide headquarters is the next neighborhood over, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like I think it's the same house I saw a rep adjustable kettlebell at their front door a few months before. So they're on that rep.
They tried it out and they said, yeah this might work for me. They're doing it the right way. All right.
Yeah.
First the taste.
All right.
Probably listen to this podcast.
Survey results. Continued.
We're talking about the center knurl on your barbell. 67% of you prefer that center knurl, and that's up 12% from last year. I'm a center knurl guy, just for the reason of back squats. And I can't think of any other reason besides like it helps me like find the middle of the barbell a little bit easier, I guess, maybe. But yeah, I say yes to center knurl.
Most people are leaning towards that, and like we talked about last week, more people want power bars as their primary bar. And then this next one is what's your barbell knurl preference? So we saw much more people wanting an aggressive bar with this survey compared to last year. So 13% voted as aggressive as possible. That compares to just 5% last year. And then 58% voted aggressive. That compares to just 35% last year. 41% wanted moderate. That compares to 57%, so down quite a bit from last year. And then passive went from 4% last year to 1% this year. Aggressive,
those calluses,
center knurl, and power bars are on the rise. And then we, if you've been listening to this podcast each week, we've been trying to add a question to Instagram and then answer it ourselves. So I'm going to start by answering, if I had to do it again, which bench am I going with for my home gym? Answer is pretty basic, but I have some reasons why I would choose it. I would go with the Rep Blackwing, barely over the AB 5200 2.0. And I would say the color combinations for the AB 52 2.0 almost got me. But reason I chose the Blackwing, the big difference was if I'm doing decline, I actually much prefer having the leg roller as to just like declining without. For me, it's just, for whatever reason, it's much more stable. This one also stores vertically, which is very important for my home gym. And then I also prefer a wide pad, so I would get the wide pad. And then I have a note here. I wish the clear coat option was available. Still isn't available, but that would be ideal. I would probably pay a little bit more for that clear coat. All right, that's my choice. Adam?
Yeah, if I were doing it today, I would pick the AB 4100 because it's just a small step up from the 3000, which I have. I'm talking about the Rep AB 4100, for those of you who don't know. The 3000's been a great bench. I like it a lot. It does not store vertically, and the leg rollers aren't really useful for me because I don't use the decline that much, which is why the 4100 would be a nice little upgrade for me. Price difference right now is $80 difference, and so that's not big enough to save the money and go with the 3000. So I would go with the Rep AB 4100.
And I will say, from using both of them, the AB 4100 is so much easier to like move around. It's so
I need
much
vertical
nicer
storage
for
too. I'm
Yeah.
getting to a point now where I'm like, it'd be really nice if I could just tuck this up against the wall somewhere, and I can't. So
Kurt, what would you be going with?
Based on what I've used today, I've had rep benches, rogue benches. I'll probably go with what I got standing behind me right now, leaning up against the wall, which is still that Stray Dog Alpha bench.
Yeah.
So the big reasons there has the holes for leg rollers on the rear spine, not the rear spine, I guess, but like the rear support piece in the back. Stands vertically nicely, has a lot of options, so you can actually get it at a moderately affordable price for an American-made bench, or you can bouge it out and go all out if you really want to. It also has the reverse ladder, which the reverse ladder is good, especially when you consider that with an open ladder, you're potentially stepping over these spikes. And if you're at all klutzy in the gym, that could be a recipe for absolute disaster. Having that reverse ladder is nice because the ladder is on the back of the bench pad itself. So you don't have to have any issues with there being a ladder system there. For me, my kids are in the gym quite a bit. They mess with my equipment quite a bit. So having that ladder on the back pad is a lot safer, in my opinion. Plus, it gives you the option to put a spotter deck. Since I've been stationed back here in Ohio, I don't have a training partner, but if I did have a training partner, having that rear spotter deck would be nice for doing incline heavy dumbbell or triad work. So with those, I also don't really do decline work all that often, whether it's for sit-ups or anything else. So for me, the decline option is a little bit less important. Plus, I already have it.
Cool. All right. Good choice. And then again, we asked the community and got a good amount of responses, but it was pretty dominated by rep. So we got a wide variety of rep mentions for a variety of reasons. So the AB 3000 just seems like the best for the money, the best overall value, you could say. AB 4100, easiest to use, again, great value. AB 5200, high value, beefy bench. Blackwing, premium option that can do anything that includes that all the like other premium one can do, and it's probably the lowest price, especially compared to Rogue. The most popular American bench mentioned was the Rogue Manta Ray. That's for most of the people that wanted the USA made. Iron Master was mentioned quite a bit, a lot. That I will mention that the Iron Master is a very solid bench. And then if I personally own one, if I want to say if I was like 30 pounds lighter, 20 to 30 pounds lighter, I might go with that. I think I'm just a tad bit large for it. But yeah, again, very, very solid bench that again can be built over time. You can buy a thing or two at a time and ultimately create this super bench. And then Crandall Fitness and Prime were also mentioned. So Crandall Fitness has some rep similar looking benches for lower prices. And then Prime has a pretty nice bench that sounds like it could have a very powerful ecosystem added to it later. So yeah, that's what most people are thinking these days. Nobody mentioned Stray Dog. I don't think anybody mentioned Irwin. Nobody mentioned like Bridge Built. So
I would be super interested. So I went down to Bridge Built, and some of those benches definitely got me looking like I really want to buy that. Just costs money, takes time.
I used to have the flat bench that folded up.
Yeah.
I just never folded it up. There was like,
It's kind of like having a collapsible rack. You just never collapse them.
Right, exactly. But it was a solid bench. And that was like 5-6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago maybe. And they're even nicer than what they used to be. So but yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Kurt, did you want to expand on any of the questions I asked you at the beginning? Some of them were kind of tough.
Yeah. What was the one I paused on?
Rep or Rogue.
Yeah, Rep or Rogue. I have 3 priorities for my channel, in no particular order: veteran or teacher or law enforcement, fire department, like some sort of like public service owned business. So like someone who works in those that is also doing gym equipment. The other one is American made or Canadian made, really just not Chinese made anywhere else except for China. And then the third one is a high quality piece of equipment. And Rep is really just teasing the living hell out of me with like everything. I'm like, I don't know, that looks pretty nice. Even some of the Titan stuff. Like I'm very intrigued by the new Titan bench. But yeah, between Rep or Rogue, and also Rep, I'm just going to say it on this. I'll probably get in trouble or something, but Rep takes way better care of content creators than Rogue. Just going to say it.
Yeah, Rogue's never said anything to me.
Yeah. Whoever their affiliate guy is, he kind of sucks.
Okay, and then I thought I would be curious to hear a little bit more is isolator versus goat from Stray Dog.
I get this question a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So if I get onto my YouTube studio and I look at my not responded to questions, at the very top on an isolator video, this or the goat attachment, the one below that, if you had to get the goat attachment or the isolator, which one would you get? And there's like 5 if I continue. So the reason I'm holding off, I'll talk about it here lightly. Okay. So here's the deal. If you don't use anything, your rack uprights for anything else, and it's really cool because Gray Matter Lifting covered this fairly well in his review. If you use it, so like I have jammer arms and I have an isolator on the same upright, that's a problem, which means that one of them's got to go. So if you use your uprights for more than just the isolator, the goat is the better option because the isolator is super duper heavy. It's a pain in the butt to take on and off the rack. If you leave the isolator in place, maybe move it up and down, but like basically it just lives on that upright, the isolator is way better at doing more movements than the goat. Now, to be clear, both are good. There are things the isolator does that the goat can't, and there are things that the goat can do that the isolator can't. But for most home gym enthusiasts, most home gym athletes, I think that if you have the space to dedicate to leaving your isolator set up in one spot, the isolator is a better choice. If you got to set it up and take it down every single time, the goat is your better choice because of how easy it is to install on the rack, put your attachments on, and like also how kind of small it is, because that's another problem with the isolator is how large that it is. For instance, I actually have mine partially disassembled. The second post, I just took it off. I'll post a video one of these days, but I smoked that post on a squat, and it just made me literally sit down at the bar. It's a pretty funny video. I'll probably not have the audio because I was not happy. But yeah, that's basically it. It's kind of tough to choose, but the isolator is better for more isolation style movements. So like triceps, biceps. So basically tris, bis, quads, and hamstrings.
Cool.
I was answering those questions like as if you were answering them. I was seeing if like my guess to what you were going to say was going to match up, and I got all of them, I think, except one, and it was Squat Max MD or every other squat bar. That's the one where I thought Kurt was going to go with Squat Max.
That was tough too. If the Squat Max, I'm also working on a little project, not with Squat Max, but on my Squat Max, in an effort to kind of save on space. I guess it's really not top secret because I'm not going to make it commercially. But I'm going to see, you know how like PRX made that wall foldable GHD and all that stuff? Yeah. Like all that stuff was like flip it up on the wall. I'm making a bracket for my squat max where I'll basically remove 2 of the legs and mount it to the wall sideways. And then the way that this would work is I'm going to do a tube within a tube for the handle. So you pull the handles off, lay them down on the squat max, fold the squat max up on the wall. It'd be gas shock assisted. Pop the little carriage or the guide pin off, and now your squat max is up against the wall. Trying to make it as easy as possible. I'm going to see if it works. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah, the other specialty bars is where you lost me. I love specialty bars. The camber bar, my transformer, squat bar. Is a squat bar a specialty bar?
I say no. It's a straight bar. It's just thicker.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
I'd say it's a specialty bar, but I'm not passionate about that answer.
Yeah, my druthers, as I think they've been called on other podcasts about nothing. Gosh, what were the other ones? I don't remember the other questions. I blacked out.
Other questions, Henny or Jammer Arms. All the other ones you
sense.
pretty much, yeah. But yeah, that was fun. Thanks for
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing the. You should call it the AMRAP though. It's as
AMRAP,
many
that was
reps.
So I definitely scribbled all of those questions 5 minutes before we did this.
That's good questions for 5 minutes before.
Yeah, well, I went to his profile and I just and all of his equipment was there. And I was like, oh, this or that, this or that, this or that.
Yeah.
But I did not rehearse the intro. So yeah.
It was
Could've
great.
fooled
You're
me,
just such
Jake.
a natural.
Thought it sounded awesome, man.
No, I was thinking though, Adam. So we've been doing this for 2 years now, and now it doesn't take any editing at all.
Right.
But when we first started, oh my gosh, the editing
Think
was.
about it, how bad could you have been? It's just talking. We were really bad.
It was pretty bad.
Bad. Yeah.
But yet there's
I go back-
literally no editing needed.
Yeah.
I go back
So-
and watch my videos from 2017, 2016, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking?
I do
Or
not.
like some of the thumbnails, and it's like, you're an idiot.
That's part of this.
It's all
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Cool. You want me to sign us out there?
sign us out.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us, guys. If you liked tonight's episode, then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to be following HomeGymCon. Keep your eye out for new updates by following HomeGymCon on Instagram. Check out the website, do all that good stuff. And if you are a strongman out there, we highly encourage you to look up the Strongman Throwdown at HomeGymCon. It's going to be awesome. Kurt's really putting a lot of passion in this, and I think it's going to be a really cool event. So, Jake, Kurt, anything else left for the listeners?
Nope. I've always wanted to say that.
All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.